Mr. Heavyweight Boxing today?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Chris, the Nightmare Ariel, and you're watching Mr. Boxing.
It's your boy, Big Baby Miller here. Listen, we're knocking out all bums. First going to be Dylan White, if it's going to be Joseph Cogan. But you know who got the story right? Mr. Boxing Today. You check him out. He got all the latest news on the heavyweight division. And if you don't know me, you soon will. Because I'm taking everybody.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So it looks like Jarrell Miller and Jared Anderson is going at it on Instagram right here, man. So I was on Instagram a little earlier, and this happened a couple hours ago, but Jarrell Miller had left a post. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. He says, "Don't call it a comeback." He's pretty much quoting some classic LL Cool J lyrics. All right, but under that, he says, "P.S. Bite my name, bite my style, copy my shorts and my gloves, but they know I'm good taking niggas' girls and getting hugs. Hashtag Big Baby is here." All right, so we pretty much know who he's talking about. And he's talking about Jared Anderson. All right, now, so this is what Jared Anderson had to say. As you see, there's some fans here leaving comments, and they had an interaction. Let me find it really quick. Let me find this interaction real quick for you guys. All right, here it is. So under this fan's comment, then this where they come into. All right, so some comment, he tagged in, a fan tagged in Jared Anderson to this, and then Anderson replied to Big Baby Miller, pretty much saying, "Laugh my ass off. You see me at my second fight, but wasn't on none of this. I don't internet beef. See you when I do. 100. All right, and then Big Baby responded to him, says, "Little nigga, please don't bite off more than you can chew. I'll address your little ass soon enough. Got bigger fish to fry." All right. So I like the fact that they're doing this, man. You know, I'll see some people in the comments section, you know, saying that, you know, pretty much going at Jarrell because of his failed drug testing and all that. But look, if he's back and he did his 3.5 years and he's back and he's sanctioned a fight, you know what I'm saying? I would like to see him in another good fight. I want him to pass, you know what I'm saying, not have no failed drug tests, obviously. But as far as him being around, this is why I miss Jarrell Miller. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to add some, you know, he's going to ruffle some feathers. He's going to say some things. He's going to talk and try to bring some intrigue, you know, towards some possible fights. All right. Now, what I do know is that Jarrell Miller has a fight coming up, supposedly October the 3rd, against Ebenezer Tate. Is going to be in Kazakhstan. All right. I did a video about this the other day. Shouts out to Dan Raphael because the interview was on his website with Miller's promoter. He did an interview on Dan Raphael's website, and I talked about it. And they're supposed to fight October 3rd, Ebenezer Tate. Now, the fight after that, contingent upon, you know, Miller beating Tate, was supposed to be Lucas Brown. And as of right now, according to that interview from Miller's promoter, they were saying November 13th that Miller and Brown could possibly headline in Dubois. All right. If not that, another alternative was November 26th at the O2 in the UK, and they will be on the undercard of Daniel Dubois. Dubois is set to defend that regular WBA heavyweight title that night. All right. And it's funny because, well, if you look at it, Jarrell Miller is rated number 14 already by the WBA since he's made his return this summer. We know he picked up victories against Ariel Bracamonte, and then his last fight against Derek Cardenas. He looked more like Big Baby in that Cardenas fight. Got the stoppage. He was raining uppercuts and hooks. He looked more like the old Miller. The first fight, I know it was his first fight back. You know, he was he went the full 10. You could say he wanted some rounds, but he was fighting off the ropes. You know, trying to, you know, just get back into the rhythm of things. But that second fight looked more like Miller to me, in my opinion. All right. But what do y'all think about this, man? What do you think about Miller and Anderson going at it? I know it's just the internet. I know these guys do a lot of talking on Instagram and on Twitter and all over social media platforms and never get fights done. But one thing about the heavyweights, pretty much these guys are all fighting each other heavyweight. Pretty much. We're not getting every single fight, right? Like we haven't got AJ and Wilder, but shit, we got Wilder and Fury. 3 times. We get AJ and Usyk. We get Ruiz and AJ. Now we get Ruiz and Ortiz. I mean, I can sit here and name a whole bunch of fights. Joyce, Parker. We got Parker, AJ. I mean, we've got a lot of these fights, man. White has pretty much fought damn everybody besides Wilder. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are pretty much making their rounds now as far as getting around to fighting everybody. And I like the fact that it's heating up like this. A lot of questions have been answered. There's still some questions that need to be answered, but a lot has changed in the last 4 or 5 years when we were talking about this group of heavyweights with Parker, AJ, Wilder, Fury, so on and so forth. And there's been some young guns added to the fray like Jared Anderson. All right. So I would love to see a fight like this. When I did that, I also did a video talking about just Miller's return. Somebody was asking me what were my thoughts about his just return to the ring. And in that video, towards the end of the video, like the 9-minute mark of that video, I said 2 fights that I would love to see Miller fight. And that's either Trevor Bryan, because they have a past history on social media going at each other, you know, that, and they had a nice little sparring session that I put up on my page too. Nice little classic sparring session they had down there in Florida at the Heavyweight Factory. So they had, you know, a history of, you know, going at each other, right? And then Miller also fighting Anderson, you know what I'm saying? Because both got the same moniker, both undefeated American heavyweights, like to talk shit, you know, both are brash. You know, Miller, he's not the 28, 29-year-old anymore, right? He's was out of the ring for 3.5 years. He's 34 years old now. You know, he's not an old man, but he's 34 years old now. It's this different kind of Miller that I was talking about 4 or 5 years ago, right? So he's like the older statesman in this situation. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see that fight. We know Miller's been in there with guys like Duapa and Adamak and Bogdan Dinu, Gerald Washington, Marius Walker. I think his most impressive vicious KO was a Donovan Dennis fight. Dennis was a good amateur, but yeah, that fight was on, was it Showbox? I think that fight was on. But yeah, that was his most vicious knockout, in my opinion. But one thing about Miller though, and another thing about Miller is he loves combat. So he's always in some type of gym, MMA, boxing. So he's always like fight ready as far as mentally, right? But we're talking about boxing here. But I would love this fight, man. Could Jared Anderson stand in the pocket with a guy like Jarrell Miller and beat him down like that, the way he's been able to do against guys like Hernandez and Kingsley Abe, you know, all the guys that he's fought thus far, you know, so, or Tereshkin and Teslenko and what was the guy he just fought? Miljan Rav Cannon, you know, so would he be able to walk down and go to the body and switch hit, going lefty to righty, and just have his way with a guy like Jarrell Miller? Or would Jarrell Miller's pressure, his weight, his volume, remember the volume that he had before he left? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, some people are thinking that, hey, man, he only had that volume, Mr. Boxing, because of the, you know, he was probably on steroids in other fights. You know, a lot of people allegedly will assume that, right? So that's why we all want to see Miller in another fight, taking on a worthy opponent, somebody like a Jared Anderson. That'd be great, and try to put on that same pressure and see how things hold up. Would it be the same outcome that he had with a guy like Gerald Washington? Somebody trying to fight him off the back foot, land the 1-2. Is he just going to be too much with the pressure, going to the body with the high volume, and he can take a punch? You know, so I would love to see this fight, man. But I'm just rambling at this point, y'all. I'm just getting this out there, man. What do you think about? Oh, just to make sure, so y'all won't think, hey, Mr. Boxing, man, that was probably a fake, Big Baby Anderson. Let me just go back down to that comment, man. This is Jared Anderson's real account. You know what I mean? There we go, right there. The young man, 12-0 with top rank, just had an impressive victory last weekend. But hey, you guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, man. What do you think about all this, man? Do y'all want to see this fight? Do you think, nah, let them go their separate ways? Or, hey, hell yeah, I want to see this fight. I don't see these guys, look, I don't see these guys getting a title shot anytime soon. Jared Anderson's not even rated in anybody's top 15. Jarrell Miller he's number 14 in the WBA, but I don't see him getting a title shot. Maybe I was looking at that November 26th date where they're making possible for him and Lucas Brown to fight there, to be on that Daniel Dubois undercard. I was thinking, hey, Dubois is the regular WBA title holder. Jarrell Miller's rated number 14. If he beats Lucas Brown, maybe they can make that fight. I thought about that because, you know, these promoters just don't do you know, there's not just doing them a favor for anything, you know, I mean, for nothing, you know what I mean? So they're gonna want something in return down the road. So I was thinking about that. Maybe they're trying to set up a Dubois and Miller type of voluntary defense. I'm not sure. All right, but what do y'all think about this, man? Let me know what you think, man. I'm gone.